tech stuff right there, Ron.
That's what you pay me the big dollars for.
That's right. So, hey, welcome everybody, and welcome Carla. Thank you for joining us today. We're hoping this will be fun, informative for everybody joining us right now to watch. And again, let us know exactly where you are right now.
So after C2E2 that I have attended there, I flew back and I was doing a connection in Paris, and the same day I was supposed to go back to Italy, and I was supposed to go back home, and I actually got stuck in Paris airport, and authorities told me, no, you can't go back. So I'm in Paris. I found a little apartment where I'm staying here, and I arranged myself to do a little studio here, and keep living.
So you're like the rest of us right now. Again, we've got more and more people joining us. So again, welcome everybody. Carla Cohen is live with us right now on Coffee Time with Pastime. So first off, we wanted to ask you, again, this is going to be opened up for you guys watching at home. This will be opened up. Hello, Michael Henson. To anybody that wants to ask questions to Carla, if you have a question, please type it in and she'll answer it. But first thing that we have for you, Carla, is I know we've met you before. The first time we got to meet you was at MegaCon last year, and that was a lot of fun in Orlando. We were hoping we were going to get to do it again this year, but it got canceled. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the industry with painting and doing comic book art.
So I started doing art during my studies. So I studied in Paris in a preparatory art course. Then I went to Amsterdam in an art school called the Gerrit Rietveld Academy. And I ended up in Florence in a more graphic design school. And after I met Lucio Barillo as a mentor, and so I learned painting with him, like real. I've been very into that, and after all, like being with Lucio at the same time in my life brings me. It cost me a lot. That's my father telling that my study cost is a lot, which isn't true because Lucio has been, he has been my teacher, and we end up being together. So after I quickly start doing more portraiture that I really enjoyed, and I end up in the comic industry, meeting people and asking me, like the first cover was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And from there actually it's like a circle, and I've been doing one cover, then another cover, and doing a lot of private commissions most of all, and so this is how I started, and thanks to Lucio for that, because I would never have been myself on this industry because I wasn't into comics before meeting him. So
okay. I know we met you through Daniel Scott, actually. You do things, you and Lucio both, you do things for Scott's Collectibles. So that's how we were able to meet you. And I know we got a picture here in a minute Ryan can put up, but we were very fortunate to have you do a cover for us that really took off, which was White Widow #3, that you did an exclusive cover for our store. And there it is. Ryan posted it for us, which we really appreciate. And that's done well. It's a gorgeous cover. So we just had a question. So currently, what other projects are you currently working on, or are you working on any other exclusive covers for anyone?
So I'm doing all my covers oil painted, so it takes me a lot of time. I'm trying to handle the most cover I can because it gives you the visibility an comic artist needs of. And the main project I have is Vampirella, and I'm doing all those issues for Scorpion Comics. Keeping doing a lot of issues of Vampirella. Is my favorite character, so I really enjoyed doing it. And beside that, I did Red Sonja for Comic Kingdom of Canada. They make me do a lot of covers for them too. But for now, all the projects are a bit like we wait we wait till the printers start working again because of this coronavirus. So yeah, but I have a lot coming out soon.
Okay. I guess your father's asking us, is she the youngest artist in the business with this talent? Ryan, probably the youngest that we've used for a cover, I would say. I'm not sure any of the younger artists out there, unless you are or Julian knows. I wouldn't know how to answer that one.
I have no idea, but I know I'm young, and I've been starting in the industry sooner than I thought myself. Because at the beginning I was just doing a private commission, and I was enjoying that. But after the demand rise, and yeah, I end up doing covers. But being young is also bring me a lot of hope by because there's like a lot of artists I really admire, and there's so much talents in this industry that it's very hard. You have to be very demanding on yourself.
Yeah, and I will say, we actually talked whenever we were in New York. Remember, outside dinner one night, and I didn't realize how young you were. So I don't pay attention to the age thing. So I don't know if we have used younger artists or not. To me, it's all about the art, not about the age. So
Right.
That's great work.
It's
So.
like, I always told people, like, especially in the art, when you do other thing in life, your studies matters a lot. It matters a lot. Like, they ask you for, do you have any diploma to get a job, to apply for a job? You need diploma. But an artist, what is mostly important is not about the school. It's about, okay, for me. So for me, my school was basically Lucho. So it's not like for me is the most renowned school, but it's not actually a structure. But yeah, after all, it's what you show people, retailer, and people that are gonna use it for doing work. So, are you do like hollow foil covers or lenticular ones? Translation, help.
So, Raul, on that, actually, most of the time, the cover is determined by the publisher. So, whether it be Scorpion Comics or Pastime Comics or Frankie's or whoever's doing that, they commission Carla to do the artwork, and then they determine from there if they're doing black and white, color, lenticular, that type of stuff.
You got it.
Well, there's a good question by right after Raul, you can see. Julian has a question. So, would you have or ever thought about doing a she Joker for a commission? Of course, Julian's our resident Joker fanatic here in the store.
I'm always happy about new project. What I try to avoid in this industry is becoming repetitive. I don't like doing the same character. Besides Vampirella, because she's like a feminine character, you have a lot of flesh tones to paint, and I love that. But yeah, at any time when I have a new blank cover coming out, and be able to do a new character, I'm always happy. So yeah, a she Joker would be a nice challenge for me.
There you go, Julian. There you go. We have another question. How do you decide on what emotions to use for Vampirella covers?
So basically, when Scorpions hire me for doing, at first it was only like 5 issues, from issues number 8 till number 12, but we ended up doing more. And I say, okay, I have 5 Vampirellas to do. And as I told before, I don't like being repetitive, and Vampirella always like this or like this, or I mean, and there has been thousands of Vampirella done by awesome artists. So I had to find, to me, a purpose to do all those issues and trying to make some variation. And so we had a chat, and emotion was definitely the best main theme I could have. And so how to decide emotions, I don't know. Basically, when I've been inspired by what Vampirella is to me, and she can be angry, she can be very passionate. So yeah, I end up a bit like at the feeling like, yeah, I want to do one vampirella with passion, and I'm happy that, and I'm lucky that the retailer is letting me do a bit what I want, because he thinks it comes better when you do what you really visualize as an artist. So yeah, I did that way.
Okay. You know, and I have one here before we get over to Mike Henson's question. And I know, Julian, you asked this the other day to David Sanchez. Is there a favorite person that you would like to draw, a character that you would like to draw that you haven't had an opportunity to do yet on a commission?
On a commission that I didn't do yet, I did a lot though. So I would like, I don't know, maybe a Spider-Man, because nobody asked me male. They all asked me female. So I never did a male character besides maybe Daredevil and the guy from Game of Thrones. But
Okay.
I did mostly women's characters. So yeah, maybe a Spider-Man, something like out of the, like a realistic human. So yeah, Venom, Spider-Man. It's very challenging. I don't know if I'm able to do it, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Ryan, you want to pull up Mike's question? There we go. Okay. So start to finish, what is the average length of time to complete a cover? And what is your process with multiple projects? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, Michael, for that. So to complete a cover, it depends, to be honest, because if you ask me like a portrait, it can take me 2 days. If you ask me like a more complex composition, maybe a full body with some elements, or two people, like I have a cover now for Naughty and Nice, and it takes me actually like double of time because there is two figure. But basically, like the average for most of what I did, so let's say a half body, it takes me about 1 week to 10 days. Yeah. And my process with multiple projects, that's what I'm struggling the most with.
I think all artists struggle with that, Carla. You're okay.
Because I feel like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. I have too much to do, and I will never end up, because I have to deal with deadlines, and I'm very anxious person. So, I don't want to be late. So I'm trying to do one thing at once, but basically with paint, you need to let dry most of the time. So I'm doing like the setting up the cover, which means bringing up the project to 50% and do another 50% of another. But no more than 2 projects at once. So like 10 days, and I'm doing 2 projects and in the extended. But it very depends. But yeah, I try to organize myself as best to do the best work I can.
Okay. Next question from Joanne Richardson. So who has the biggest influence on your comic career, and how has that person changed your work?
Remember, your dad is watching, Carla.
Yes.
So my biggest influence, I'm sorry for all watching me, but there's Lucho watching me, and I have to say that without him, I wouldn't be in this industry one more time, because I never been like in the comic, like I never been to comics, like I never opened a book of comics beside the French Tintin or Obelix thing, but I never been too much into a Marvel DC. So yeah, definitely Lucho, and he influenced me also as an artist, because you can tell he has been teaching me, because we have. I've been learning his realistic style. I'm trying to be different and take another way, like slowly by slowly. But he changed. He didn't change my work. He changed my life, basically.
You broke your dad's heart, it looks like, on one of his emojis over here. He's crying.
It's okay. Hey, it's okay. I just Her dad's name is Julian.
Okay, and your father did say smile. I'm not sure if he was talking about Ryan or if he's talking about you. So on that one. So everybody that's watching right now, if you notice across the bottom of the screen, we have a scroll going. That is Carla's actual social media. Please go follow her on Instagram and Facebook and look at her artwork that she's doing. She does a lot of stuff with Scott's Collectibles as well. And she's putting out some great artwork you can go see. We don't have everything loaded in. We have a few covers loaded in we can show and talk about. But please go follow her, support her. There's one that we just picked up in store. That was a Scorpion Comics release that you just did. And that book sold like hotcakes. I know, and I'm not lying. We got a few in and it sold out within 10 minutes here in the store. Once we posted them the other day, the book's already gone. And I know Scorpion sold out online as well, but that is an absolutely beautiful cover that you did.
We looked, that book's going for $100 plus on eBay right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now you can smile. There it is.
Well, it's like the AOC. If you see on eBay now, this AOC cover is like.
Well, yeah, but that one was a whole different situation. That one got banned by DC, whereas this one wasn't banned. It's just taken off. So
yeah.
I just hope one day DC is not gonna link my name to that cover forever. Otherwise, I would never be able to work with DC. Never.
Right. I actually asked Daniel about that the other day, if that was what was going on, why you aren't on some DC stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of people asking why I'm not working with DC, but it seems that AOC did a little.
It's all right. They'll forget.
They'll forget. So there he is. Okay, so a question for Brian Johansson. What is the toughest commission you've ever had to do and why?
The toughest commission you had to do and why? I will give two answers, the comic answer and the personal answer. Into the comics, I have to tell that which one has been hard to me, like really hard. I think it's okay, I don't know the character, but like the whole gold woman, she's all gold.
I'm not sure.
It was a whole gold woman. I'm very bad with remembering names, and Ryan can tell about that because when we introduce someone, who's that? So it was a feminine. Well, basically everything that has like a material, like if it's like a character like with a fire or metal, it's very hard to render painting. So yeah, it's like a bit more challenging. And the personal answer is that when my father asked me to do his portrait, I did the worst portrait ever because it's very hard to represent the people painting, because you see them in a way and they see them in another way, and sometimes you just like struggle, and it's impossible for me now. I say to my whole family, don't ask me any commission of any of you because I'm not able like to render people. I know it's like so
Okay. So talking about commissions real quick, I know before the show started, we were talking, you're working on a couple right now. Can you show those, or is there anything you can talk about on what you're working on now?
Yeah, so I'm going to show you a few finished piece I did.
Okay.
So this one is a Captain Marvel that I did.
Very nice.
That I finished.
Those that are watching understand when Carla does these commissions, they are oil painted. So she is painting on an actual blank. It's not pencil and Copic marker and stuff. She's actually using oil and painting on these comic covers.
Yeah. So I use oil and then I varnish, so it's very fixed on the blank paper. It's very important the quality of the paper of the blank.
Although I learned that the hard way.
I always find a way to like paint on it, but it's kind of tricky when it's very thin because it's oil paint, so it can go through, and after I have problem with CGC. Then this one, which is a black cat, but a very this one I did more pictorial style. So with I add the lighting, and it looks more like a fine art portrait. Then I have this Henry Cavill. Oh, actually a man.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
He asked me about the look likeness of the actor, obviously. So here it is. And then I have few work in progress I did while I was in Paris because I had few blanks from Chicago. So this one is on our way. It's yeah, all liquid that it's like to show you about the product. I would say a 70% process now. Um, this is a 50% work in progress. So you see, it's not refined at all. It's I don't know if you can see well though. But
Mm-hmm.
here it is. Oh, wait, I get a problem. Yeah. Then I have this Mary Jane that people like on the social. I had success with that one. So this one is about, I would say, 60% work in progress. Um, then this it's
Oh,
40
Justin's in chat. He'll see that.
Yeah.
40% work in progress. So very, you see, I mark a lot the shadows and then I will refine everything and put some details on. But it takes like 3, 4, 5 steps. So
Carla, if you could
and
maybe mention pricing on if someone wanted to get a commission done, the pricing to get it done, and then the
yeah.
steps that they go through. Do they need to contact you, contact Scott's Collectibles? What do they need to do?
So if they want a blank cover, so this one I did it on Chicago at the show just for like a live painting. So if they want a blank cover, it's very easy. They can email Scott's Collectible. They can email me, and then if they want to talk with me, it's fine too. And for pricing, I prefer that they write me or write Scott's Collectibles. I do only headshot or half or bust on blank cover because, as people can imagine, it's actually a small space of work, and I can't do like the 16 chapel in such a small space. Because I mentioned, because people ask me, can you do Batman, Superman, and Hulk and all those people in here? No, because I'm painting, and believe me, I use such small brush. But yeah, I can do only headshot or bust, and it's the first price is 480 for no 520 for a headshot and 680 for a bust.
Sounds good. Thank you, man.
Okay, so right now we know that we're all missing Comic Con season right now, staying safe in our homes. So going into last year, let's go back when we were all able to travel and go to cons. What was your favorite one that you got to participate in last year?
So my favorite con ever is MegaCon, because yeah, MegaCon is like such a yeah, I would say almost a holiday atmosphere because people like it's a good season there. The show is nice. People are very friendly. I take a lot of commissions there because people really like original art. Because there's like more shows that are more for signing and other shows that are for commissions. Yeah, and because there is Universal and Disney, so generally we extend a little bit, and yeah, so attending the show and then a bit of entertainment, it's very cool show, and yeah.
Good. Okay. Question from Raul. Do you have or have you collaborated with Coffin Comics, or would you work with Dan Mendoza?
I didn't, sir. And would you work?
Carl, I know we had talked about, I think it was New York, maybe San Diego. We went to Brian, Coffin Comics Lady Death, and talked about trying to get you to do a cover with them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm always happy to do any other collaboration. So yeah, there's I mean, I wouldn't say no to any like I love all those characters that are in the comic industry. So yeah, new collabs are always nice, and old collabs are the one that I keep in mind a lot.
Okay. Next one. Okay, this one's from a good friend of ours that is also does artwork here in the industry, McLean McGuire. What does he say here? Do you like to use what do you like to use most to do your artwork? Covers, traditional methods, or digital?
So I would say 100% traditional, because you have an original art after, and digital you don't. So this is the main point, and I really like touching the material, and I mean it's a whole process that I really enjoy when I'm doing traditional. So most of my cover I do them traditional. The only thing when I do digital is that I have a very short deadline, or I have no other way, I'm traveling or so. But yeah, mostly I always tend to do traditional as most as I can.
Okay. Well, there's a good one. How you doing, Alan? So, where's your favorite European vacation spot?
So, I mean, Europe is like there is thousands of spots that I really love. I've been very lucky in my life. I've traveled a lot, but I would say for me, I'm very in love in Italy. I'm in love with Italy. Also in love in Italy, but in
You
South
in love with Italy, or
Italy,
you in love with the man that's in Italy?
both. That's what I say.
And he's watching,
Both.
so
Yeah, I really miss Italy and my Italian too. But yeah, so yeah, South Italy is like paradise for me. Like we always, I mean, I grew up thinking that Seychelles, Maldives, or Hawaii was like the best spot with the best sea and yeah, white sand beaches. But in South Italy, I have to tell that you don't need to fly like 9 hours to see like the beauty. To see as much beauty. So South Italy, Sicily, Calabria, and other spot that I really love, but more for cultural. I love Spain. Greece is wonderful too. So yeah, there is too much spot to answer just one.
okay.
What, guys? Can I ask you why I don't see the chat?
What do you see on your side?
I see you and I see Chris, and that's it.
Huh. I'm not sure if you can minimize your screen. I'm not sure. I know when we did this the other day with David, he was able to see comments and everything as well.
Yeah,
That's...
I see.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not good with technology, so but
Again, remember everybody, if you're joining us and you're watching, we have Carla Cohen. She's live from France right now with us. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen is her social media. Please go follow her and support her. She is available to do commissions. Sorry, I saw Julian's comment and it threw me off there for a minute. So she is available to do commissions. Message her, message the Scott's Collectible page as well. And she also has a lot of her information on the Scott's Collectible website, where you can go on and look at her artwork as well and her pricing.
yeah.
Noah Burke, come to San Diego for the con. Downtown is so fun. Carla was at San Diego Comic-Con this past year, and if it actually happens this year, she'll be there again. I know you're on the schedule to be there. So
Yeah. I mean, we were supposed to go to MegaCon Calgary, and yeah, we were almost booking our flight to San Diego, because we always in San Diego we used to stay a whole month with Lucio, living there and attending the con. But this year it's gonna be like a totally other story, I think, because yeah, traveling seems very yeah, it's not gonna happen. I think very soon.
I think last time after San Diego, didn't you and Lucio y'all skirted over to Hawaii for a little bit and spent some time over there?
Yeah, we attended Hawaii Comic-Con.
Yeah,
that was great. Well, that was that was a lot of fun there.
Julian would like to know if you've had, and if so, what is your take on Texas barbecue? And what
he came out firing, didn't he? Just
I didn't. I wish, but I will go to Texas one day for sure.
Carla doesn't eat meat, Julian.
I don't eat at all.
Dustin wants to know when we're going to do another exclusive with you here at Pastime. That's a question for us. So Carla,
Yeah, that's a question for us.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Carla's like, you pay me, I'll do it.
Yeah. And actually, that's in the works. There's a couple projects coming up that we can't divulge right now, but that we were going to talk to Carla about already. So just hang tight on that. Again, she did our White Widow cover. That was amazing, and we did very well with that. And I can. Oh, she did do an. Who was this cover for? Was this an exclusive, the Unnatural, for a certain store, or did you do that for? Just for Image itself?
No, that was for Unknown Comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's one of your commissions that you've done.
This one is one of the first pieces. This one is the first one I did ever on the blank cover. So, yeah.
I love that one. The Gamora.
Yeah, this one I've tried to nail a lot. The movie Manifesto.
Okay.
Dustin said he's going to fund for us to do an exclusive. So.
Okay. Okay, so there's a question from McLean again. Do you have a favorite comic book character that you like to draw?
Yeah, so beside Vampirella, I really enjoy Harley Quinn because yeah, she's nice to portrait, and I like when there is not too much colored outfit, when the color is matching all together. I think Harley Quinn is enhancing and has a costume, but very coherent in terms of colors, whereas a Captain Marvel with the very blue and red and the wool outfit. I really like to paint flesh tones, so I'm a bit disappointed when I have to cover all that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Todd Schroeder, what covers do you have coming that you can talk about? I know you showed some of the commission covers, but did we already ask that, Ryan? Did we go back? Well, there's been a lot of questions. Did we
Not
talk about
covers? But most of the time, unless Carla can say so, most of the time artists aren't allowed to announce the cover.
Right.
The company paying for the cover has to announce that.
I'm allowed for one project only, is the Vampirella. I'm doing so I did issues 8 till 12. Now the 12 is ready and it will be soon released, but not print soon because everything is not working in that moment. So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep doing all those Vampirella covers on Emotions that I really enjoy. And so Hakan is telling how many more Vampirella. So there was I was about to say I was supposed only to stop at Vampirella 12 issue, but
Okay.
we end up doing some more, and yeah, so I'm gonna Vampirella as long as I have Emotions to represent Vampirella.
So obviously, with Lucio being in Italy, have you talked to any of the other guys down there, Alessandro or Camincoli or any of them, or just mainly Lucio?
Mainly with Lucio, obviously.
Well, that's a good thing.
No, I know. I mean, I don't talk to them very frequently, but I keep following them, and I know that Alessandro is doing such a nice project with kids representing the virus creating a superhero to go against the virus. I think it's a very nice project for kids, and I know he's very into his son and daughter, so. Yeah, he's doing some nice project and do some charity with those drawings. And but I'm not sure.
He's the shave. He's got the beard growing
Sorry?
out. Alessandro?
Yeah, that was very fun. We shared the apartment in San Diego when we attended Comic-Con, and we didn't know him before, and we end up hanging out and be good friends. So
Clay's got a question.
Yep, I got it.
McLean will have a lot of questions.
Should we just bring McLean on?
We could.
yeah.
McLean, at what point in your life did you decide working in comics was the avenue you wanted to take, and why comics? Because Lucio told her to.
No. So yeah, I started and I wanted to do really like fine art and portraiture. I really think I'm gonna in the next years that I have in front of me. I would like to keep up that project to do fine art and more bigger stuff and yeah, so fine art. So I'm gonna dedicate a bit of my time to it. But working into comics was because I was with Lucho, and with his very heavy schedule that was attending Comic-Con, I end up like go with him, but not being there as an artist. And at the end, I mean, he really, we had a talk and told me like that would be great to be in this industry because we can travel together and be two artists at the same place. So yeah, I think that's the best choice because we're like sharing that together, and yeah, that's a common work, and that's cool.
Okay.
And why comics? I mean, comics is fun. At the end, I didn't know I'd liked comics, but I end up like it, and it's a great industry with nice people like you guys.
What do you got next there, Ryan? We'll start
I
wrapping
was
this
actually
up.
going to show this picture just real quick because we've been
Okay.
talking about Carla's work and kind of where she started. She actually started not in comics, so this is just one of the ones.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I really love the expressions. So you can see actually that I've always been very interested into expressions with babies, with ventrilas. For me, it's the same. It's still like portraits and represent realistically some characters. So yeah.
That is kind of the same expression, Ryan, that Julian makes sometimes.
No, that's my expression. Remember the painting that we got done at Fan Expo?
That is true with the lip. That is true. So,
My daughter's been doing that expression lately. So,
all right, here's another question. McLean and Julian have taken over on questions. So, outside of painting comics, what are a few of your favorite hobbies you like to do?
Good question.
You stumped her.
That's what I'm
No,
here to
no.
do.
So the if Lucho is watching us, he would love me to answer sport, but that's not the case at all. I'm not doing any sport. I don't like it so much, but you should do sport. It's good. It's healthy. But yeah, no. So beside painting, I like going to museum, hanging out, restaurant. I love gastronomy. I think it's because I'm French too, but not showing up with that right now. But
we won't
yeah,
hold that against you, Carla. It's okay.
cooking. I enjoy cooking when I have time. I enjoy watching documentaries and shopping, like most all women in this art.
So leading into documentaries, and we'll get back to something real quick. Ryan Palmer, who's a local artist here, I got this. He had a question. Speaking of documentaries, with so much on lockdown all over the world, has the TV show Tiger King made it to France, or it probably is just a silly American thing, Ryan? Because
I don't want to say it's a silly American thing, but I'm definitely not into that. I mean, I don't know what it is.
okay.
I'm honest with you, but yeah.
Now that you're in the comic business, do you read any on a monthly basis?
That's a shame on you question.
No, you don't want to watch that stuff. So
No, I'm not. I mean, I read a lot, but I'm more into novel philosophy and all those things that has nothing to do with comics. But yeah, I do like when I do have a blank cover, sometimes I open it. It is not, if it's not CGC book, because if I CGC and I read that book, people are gonna kill me. But sometimes, yeah, I open them and I try to read it.
Okay, I have one for you. With all the artists, and you know, when we were at MegaCon, there was a lot of younger kids standing around the table watching you paint. And if any of them are looking at you and get inspired, what advice would you have for some of the younger artists that are coming up in the industry that they want to get in this industry? What would be your advice to them?
My main advice is to be curious, watching a lot of artists, watching artists work, go to museum. Well, now we can't go anywhere, but yeah, I used to go a lot into museums, study the old masters, if you want to do realistic stuff, obviously. But yeah, otherwise we have I mean, our generation is very lucky to have such media where you can where it's like an encyclopedia, where you want something, you can get it. Internet is like, damn. So yeah, you can check on internet. Such good website, like yeah, there's ArtStation, when there is like dozens of artists. You can check Art Renewal Center, which is very good content with famous artists and very, and yeah, practice, work a lot and challenge yourself, because it's yeah, I think an artist should be study all his life. This is what Lucho is keeping telling me: study, because an artist's career should be like this, and you have to keep it, to keep working, to keep doing new things and study. Yeah, we're eternal students, which is a good thing because it keeps you young.
That's a good answer. You know, a lot of artists. I like how she said you're eternal students. So
yeah, I like that. I like that idea, because I think yeah, you always keep challenging yourself, and Lucho is actually an eternal student too, because he could be at his point of career like, okay, I'm done, I'm cool, I can chill out and do my stuff, but he's always studying, he's always trying to improve, and I think like this makes an artist greater and greater.
okay, well, we'll take one more question here from the coffee room, from Mike Henson. What other mediums besides oils do you really want to work with?
So the answer is oil, because basically I tried acrylic. I think I've tried 2 days, because I don't like acrylic because it dries too fast. I don't have time for my coffee and my cigarettes and hanging out and talk. It dries too fast, so the process is too fast for me. I really like oil because I like the rendering, I like the color, I like the pigment, I like the whole process and using mediums, and yeah, so for me, I think I would go. I think when you do too many techniques, I will kind of losing my mind. I prefer to keep it up with oil, but improve with that technique a lot. And yeah.
Carla,
Okay.
I just I saw you did this at C2E2.
Oh, I forgot that one though. So that one is actually a great story to hear, because it's actually I was at I was a guest at the Scorpion comic book booth, and at one point it was the last day, and the last day of the show I'm not able to do all paint because it's not gonna dry, and I will end up going out of the show like this with a blank cover. So, and that day, so I did all the signing, and at one point, like I was a bit like I had nothing to do because I wasn't able to work on my commissions, so I bring them back home. And at one point, I was talking with Sean McLaughlin, and he told me, "Okay, like do a quick sketch." I say, "But I don't offer a quick sketch because I prefer oil covers and doing properly." And I said, "Okay, do it." And he gave me that Venom blank. And yeah, I end up doing a messy thing that I generally not do because I do very detailed thing. And actually, one guy step by, and he offered me a price for that, so I sell it. And after another person came and I did some remarks of Venom, and so I'm actually offering those quick little sketch that are made with only paint pen. But it's a very random situation. I end up doing this.
Yeah, it was definitely different than anything I'd ever seen you do before. I thought it was pretty cool, so I had to ask about it. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's going to do it for us and for you, and we will let you get back to work. Yeah, I know it's nighttime over there, so again, stay safe, and we thank you very much for coming on with us.
Well,
And,
that was nice. That was nice being with all of you, and thank you for making that happen, because it's cool always. I mean, I wouldn't do it myself, because it's nice when you have people asking questions, because by myself it's always hard. We always say an artist that doesn't promote well himself, which is true, I think. So it's great when you have people that makes build up a little chat like this. I think people don't know me so much, so it's great for them to know me better with those questions. And thank you guys for your time.
well, we love you, Carla, and if there's ever anything we can do for you, just let us know. Hopefully you'll be able to move out of France soon enough and get back to Italy with the show and everything. So
yeah, I really I really look forward to it, but for now I'm happy, because I feel lucky enough to have a patient and to have something to do during the day. So I'm grateful for that. And we all have to be patient, and we have to think that after all this going, we'll be so happy to meet again at a con, and everything is going to be much more appreciable. Like,
I look forward to tracking down more blanks for you at the cons. So
go all around the alley to find the blank that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So we also want to say thanks to your dad for jumping on and joining us and asking questions. So hopefully we behaved well with your father watching.
An interview with her dad.
We could bring him on.
I can do that interview.
Oh, Julian wants to do that interview.
Julian versus Julian.
Oh my goodness. So, and David Sanchez just jumped on to watch, so he's a little late, but okay. Well, we'll get out of here. We'll let you get back to work. But again, thank you very much, Carla. And thank you to everybody that joined us this is our first edition. We're going to do this again and have more artists on, but Carla was our first artist to have on and do this. And we really appreciate it. And we want to say thank you to everybody. Ryan, if you want to run that intro one more time to end it.
Thank you for your questions. Thank you for those people that asked some nice questions, and enjoy your day and enjoy coffee time with Pastime Comics and Collectibles.